What's up guys, John here. In this video, I'm gonna break down my bulletproof investing strategy for this pandemic. I'm gonna lay it out step by step and make it really simple and easy to understand. And I personally think this is as close to 100% bulletproof as we possibly can be. And I think it's gonna be an investment strategy that's gonna provide enough passive income that other people can hop on and do exactly what I'm doing and make a tremendous amount of cash flow, depending upon how much money you have, of course. So what I see happening right now is a big concern to me. The Fed's talking about digital dollars, which is kind of crazy. They're talking about coin shortages. They're talking about all these things. They're saying that they need to get stimulus payments out to people faster. This is a concern, and it makes me question the value of my dollar. The dollar is only worth what someone else says it's worth. And if that changes over the course of the next 12 or 24 months, then we should all make decisions accordingly to protect that. In addition, the stock market I think is very risky. Trump just announced he was tested positive for coronavirus, which ultimately could be a bigger concern, especially for the stock market, because this whole entire campaign was built around Make America Great Again, bring more jobs, look at the stock market, I'm a genius, everything is so great. And we don't know if that's going to remain. I personally don't think it's going to. I think that him testing positive for coronavirus, all this upcoming uncertainty, the elections happening, it's just going to I think it's going to spook a lot of people. We'll see if I'm right. That news was literally just announced 20, 30 minutes ago. So we'll see. But what my initial strategy was to start really expanding in California, buying more rental properties, bigger commercial, multifamily properties in dense areas that had a housing shortage crisis, like downtown LA, those adjacent communities there, value add properties that you could buy them for a really good price and they had long-term appreciation. And that was going to be my plan. I was going to go put 20, 30, 40% down on some of these properties. And over time, I was going to be able to refinance the properties and buy more properties and scale and grow and get a nice house in LA. Maybe Beverly Hills or Santa Monica or somewhere. And that was my strategy. And then I was going to buy properties out in New Jersey and Florida and stuff like that over time, more and more. But that is not going to happen now. It's unfortunate. It actually really sucks because I really wanted to build a really good foundation in California. But the policies suck. The governors, the politicians are horrible. It's ridiculous what they're doing. And the lockdowns are draconian. They're just, I don't see it stopping anytime soon. And I'm just being realistic. The other thing I see that's a problem is the incomes. The incomes are not going to be able to keep the values where they are right now. If they're shutting down all these businesses and everything is where it is right now with the eviction moratoriums, and they're making it harder and harder and harder for landlords to collect rent, especially with Governor Newsom's new bill that he just passed that allows either the tenant, nonprofits, but nonprofits buying distressed real estate sounds like a for-profit thing for me, or for control, whichever one. And then government, so they have first right of refusal before corporations. So they're building out some type of like socialist type of industry in California, and it's just not gonna be conducive, most likely, for me, for my goals. I see big changes coming technologically for my son. He's very young, so I constantly think about where he's going to be at 18 and 20, what opportunities he's going to have. And this is all shaping my current decisions to make sure that he has the best life. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be likely going to New Jersey and putting a much bigger grip on what I'm doing there and start buying really, really inexpensive properties all cash. I'm going to tell you exactly where I'm going to buy and what my strategy is going to be. So there's a location outside of Camden, New Jersey, maybe even Camden I would go, Gloucester City, Pine Hill, all these areas just outside of Philadelphia. You can buy properties for as low as $15,000, as high as, they can go as high as a couple $100,000, but generally they have $15,000 to $40,000 to $15,000 to $50,000 price range. You can buy these properties, and so my strategy will be to go there and buy them cash, so no mortgage at all. And the property taxes, they suck. The property taxes are very expensive in New Jersey. and it is what it is. But the property values, in comparison to what you can get for rent, is amazing. You literally could buy that property and rent it out for maybe 11 to 1400 bucks. Property tax probably gonna be like 300 bucks a month. But still, you take your $20,000 or $30,000 in cash that you have, you go buy this property. While it's rented, you make $1,000 roughly a month after property taxes. So in about 18 months or 24 months, you'll get all your money back. It's a good deal. In addition to all that, we have what's called the discount to replacement bunker, which is where, think about it this way. If you were to buy the land, you'd probably spend $5,000 on the land, $2,000 or $3,000 for permits. So you'd already be $8,000 in without you buying a 2x4 to start building the house. So if you were to actually rebuild the property, it would probably cost you another $100,000, maybe $150,000 to rebuild it. And you're buying these for $20,000 or $30,000. So the plan is to be a low-cost provider in scale, so grow, and buy as many of these properties as I possibly can, all cash. And if the pandemic gets a lot worse and the shutdowns get a lot worse and people end up getting on a really tight budget, then me offering, even if I went down to $1,000 a month, even if I went down to $900 a month, I would still be profiting every single month, and I would get my money into an asset that's always going to produce income, and I think it's going to be much more sustainable. What I think is going to happen is I think that we're going to start seeing all these people. When I say all these people, I mean all these real estate investors that are highly leveraged, and they're not going to be able to withstand the storm. The storm's coming. The storm's coming, and I don't like risk. I mean, I will only risk when I'm comfortable losing. So I'm not going to go out there and go buy a 20, a 30, 40 unit apartment building and put a massive loan on it in today's economic environment, knowing what I know now, knowing that some of these agencies can run out and say, you know what, an eviction moratorium is going to be pushed out until December. They're literally telling people that they don't have to pay rent. And if you have people that can do this, companies that can do this, then this is a concern that I have when I'm signing on loan documents for a $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month mortgage. So I'm not going to be doing that at least over the next 12 months until the storm clears. I'm going to run out. I'm only going to buy things all cash or with very, very little, very minimal debt on the property. I'm going to stay very mobile. And then ultimately what I'm going to do is in New Jersey, after I have enough properties, I'm going to go to maybe Florida, really love Clearwater Beach, maybe one of these locations where I have a beautiful tropical beach in front of me. I have relaxed conditions, so I'm not wearing a mask everywhere I go and social distancing, and I can't go outside, and I don't have to live through those measures. If I can have a nice normal life during all the chaos, then I'll go there, I'll rent a nice place, I'll stay there, possibly expand there, and make moves accordingly. But that's going to be my plan. My plan is going to be based strictly on survival, strictly on low debt and income growth through passive income multifamily. So I think I'm going to stay away from stocks, at least for the time being. Stock prices right now are crazy high. I don't think that they make much logical sense given the economic conditions. I think that we're going to have a big, big stock crash. People are talking about investing in precious metals. I think nothing's more precious than land. So I'm going to be staying away from precious metals myself for the time being. And I'll likely start advancing into this direction in the next 4 to 12 weeks. You'll see me in New Jersey and being much more aggressive and much more active there, just for all the conditions and everything that I mentioned previously. So that being said, take this into consideration. When you're out there buying houses, I think flipping houses right now is so risky. I think there's so much risk in the market that the last thing you want to do is take a risk that you can't afford to take. So for me, it's being mobile, having that cash flow come in and have multiple streams of income. So for me, if I put all my cash in properties, but I still have income coming in from multiple streams like I do, then it just affords me more opportunity to continue to invest in these troubling downtimes, which we're going to have. Right now, people think that real estate market's hot, everything's great. It's an illusion, I promise you. The bubble is going to pop, and it's going to pop very, very soon. Don't be one of those people that gets all caught up in what the mainstream media is saying and what realtors are telling you. Realtors, their job is to sell. It's a great time to buy a property. It's a great time to sell a property at all times, because if they're not buying and selling, they're not making a living. So they'll always tell you this. So don't listen to them. Number one rule for investing, and I'm going to leave on this note, is you need to know what investing is inside of whatever asset you're investing in. If you don't know what you're investing in, you're not investing, you're speculating, and most speculators lose money. So I'm going to leave there. Please drop your comments below, hit that like button, subscribe, don't forget to hit the bell, and I'll see you guys next time.